What's up everybody? Today we have a pretty cool video. Recently I tried spray painting my 350Z spoiler and it came out way too white. So I was doing some research, found this company, Touch Up Direct. They had the paint that matched the exact color code of my 350Z. I reached out to them. They offered to send me some of their product. This is what we got with it. We got a little handle there, came with some gloves, and then also the base coat, mid coat, and clear coat. Now I did go and get an additional product here, just some, filler primer. I'm just gonna do some primer before we do the base coat, and then we'll wet sand it, and then we'll, start with the Touch Up Direct stuff. I haven't tried this product before, so we'll see how it comes out, if it matches up to the color of the car. But if you want to pick up any of their product, just go to touchupdirect.com. And yeah, let's get into the video. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the spoiler from the car first, and then we will get to sanding. Before we remove the spoiler, I just wanted to show you all the products that I'm gonna be using today. What we have here is a tack cloth, and that's just to remove, the dust and particles after you get done sanding. And then we have a 600 grit, 800 grit, and 1000 grit. So we'll probably, go up in steps. First, we're gonna sand off the clear coat and the paint, sand it down. It doesn't have to be all the way down to the plastic, and then we're gonna do the primer, and then we're gonna work with the Touch Up Direct, which is gonna be these 3 cans here. You have your base, mid, and clear coat. All right, so just so we can see a comparison, here is the spoiler as it sits now. As you can tell, hopefully in this lighting, I'm not sure, but this is way too white compared to the color of the car. I do have some holes here from, I don't know, the previous owner must have had like a spoiler or something that was bigger, and I just have little rubber things in them. Eventually I'm gonna probably do some fiberglass on there, but for now we'll just stick to the spoiler because I didn't buy all the fiberglass and stuff. All right, so first step for me, we got to take off this panel here. It's all clips, so you just pull it down. The clips always break, so I always end up just JB welding them back on, but and these clips over here we just replace because they're replaceable. Alright, so next step, we got to take off the spoiler. So there's 2 screws or bolts, one up here and same on the other side. So we're going to take those off and then start sanding. Alright, so we got the spoiler off. I also had painted the wiper delete with the same white paint, so we're going to redo that also. But now we got to go ahead and sand it all down. I'm going to start with the 600 grit. So we got the sanding done. See, it's not all the way down to the plastic. I mean, at some spots it is, but should be good enough. I went over it all with 600, and then I did an 800. Wiped it all down with rubbing alcohol. Let's go ahead and set it up and do our primer. So I got it all set up now. What we're gonna do is start the primer. Now, you wanna make sure you shake the can. Obviously read the directions on the can. Each company is gonna be different. This primer, what I'm gonna do is shake the can for about a minute, make sure it's all stirred up, and then you wanna make sure when you're doing your actual spraying that you don't start or stop while you're on top of the spoiler or whatever you're painting. So you wanna start the spray here and then let go of it here. You don't wanna start and stop while on top of whatever you're painting. It's gonna cause spots, could cause, run. So I'm gonna try to do 3 coats of each step. So with this primer, we're gonna do 3 coats. We're gonna wait 15 minutes between each coat, and then do an hour after the primer's done, and then we'll do a wet sand on the primer, and then we'll start with the next few processes, like the base coat, mid coat, and the clear coat. Make sure on your first coat, you don't wanna do it too heavy. You wanna make it lighter. And then as you go on to the second and third coat, you can start doing a little bit heavier. so I moved locations to my buddy's house because I have all that dirt in the back and don't want the wind to pick it up into the paint. But we got the primer done and got it all sanded down with 600 grit. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our base coat. You can tell by the stickers at the bottom of the can. You wanna follow the instructions because each paint and each company is different. So with this one, we're gonna do 3 coats, 15 minutes between, and then we're gonna wait 30 minutes before moving on to the mid coat. All right, so now we got the base coat done. We got 3 or 4 coats on here. It has been about 25 minutes or so. So what I'm gonna do now is spray the mid coat, and hopefully it does seem like it's getting a bit sunnier out, less clouds, so hopefully it doesn't rain. It is still kind of windy, which really isn't ideal, but I think we're okay. So let's go ahead and apply the mid coat now. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do 3-4 coats with about 15 minutes between, and then we're gonna let it chill for about maybe 30 minutes, and then we'll do the clear coat. So mid coat time, let's get it. All right, so now that we've got the mid coat done, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the clear coat. So I've waited a little over 30 minutes and that's what's recommended. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to clear coat. Sorry if it's windy out here. I'm hoping the audio is coming out decent, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a light spray for the first pass on this, wait about 15 minutes, and then from there we're gonna go heavier and heavier on each coat, going up to 3 or 4 coats with 15 minutes between each one. You do want to go heavy with the, from the second coat up, but you don't want to go so heavy that it's going to make drips, obviously, so gauge that. Alrighty, so we are finally done with the 4th and final coat of the clear. And now we are gonna wait, it says in the instructions, wait about 48 hours before doing any wet sanding or buffing. So that's what we are gonna do. And once the 48 hours is up, we're gonna do some, maybe a little wet sanding. I'm not sure if I'm gonna wet sand it or just go straight to buffing, but we'll get it as shiny and glossy as possible. And then we'll mount it back up and we should be good to go. So far the color is looking good, like it's gonna match up pretty well, so we'll find out with the final result. But yeah, so I'll be back in 48 hours. Okay, and this is the final result. Hopefully it translates well on camera because this stuff came out amazing. Definitely matches the older paint. I think that the way that the sun hits it, especially for the camera, because it's at a different angle, it looks a little bit whiter on camera, but this stuff is matching well. I did do a little bit of buffing with some rubbing compound, but I did not do any wet sanding. I just didn't feel the need to. I'm really happy with the product. Again, if you guys are looking to do any sort of touch-ups, touchupdirect.com, that's where you want to go. I'll put the link in the description and make sure that you check them out. And I want to thank them again for sending me the product and allowing me to do this review and helping me get this spoiler looking good again. I hope you guys like this video, and if you want to see more in the future, be sure to subscribe. Please leave a like, it really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.